I'd like to go ahead and call the May 21st, 2025 regular meeting of the Local Agency Formation Commission to order at 2:31 p.m. We are meeting in the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors chambers and on Zoom for the public. At this point, the clerk will explain how both written and spoken public comments can be made by attendees of the meeting.
Thank you, Chair. For members of the public, the instructions on how to participate in today's meeting may be found on the published agenda. On Zoom, please use the raise hand feature or *9 if you're calling by phone to indicate your desire to speak.
Thank you. Now we'll go ahead and proceed to item 1. Roll call, please.
Thank you. Commissioner Wright,
Present.
Commissioner Rinaldi,
Present.
Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Commissioner Draper,
Here.
Commissioner Spear, Vice Chair Chang Karali,
Present.
Chair Mueller.
Here.
Thank you, Chair. We have a quorum.
Great. We'll now move on to the oath of office for appointed members. Rebecca, were you going to swear in Supervisor Spear? Sorry.
That I will.
Welcome to the commission, Commissioner Spear. We'll now move on to item 2, an open public comment for items not on the agenda and consent agenda. Please note that LAFCo meetings are a limited public forum, and all public comment must relate to something that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. If comments do not relate to the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, we will stop the comment and move on to the next speaker. The county attorney will assist in identifying comments that are not related to the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Madam Clerk, please proceed.
Thank you. I will first call upon members on Zoom, followed by in-person participants. At this time, we did not receive any written items not on the agenda.
Are we ready to proceed?
Yes.
Sorry, I
please.
missed it. Thank you. We'll now close public comment for items not on the agenda or consent agenda. We'll move on to item 3, the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead now.
Yep.
Rob, on page 64, in your comments about this water hookup, you talk about in your executive officer's report, in the second paragraph, you talk about this being the only, that there's only one address left on that street that has not hooked up to, at least that's the way I read it. In the second paragraph, it says, however, if the parcel was to be annexed at this time, it would create a partial unincorporated island. Can you extrapolate on that a little bit? I don't really understand it. Okay.
It's a reference to page 64.
Yes.
So for the outside service agreement for 429 MacArthur, and this is reference to item 3E, that parcel is unique in that it is split currently by water service boundaries between Cal Water and the city of Redwood City.
Okay.
So the parcel was merged through an action in the county because it is entirely within the North Fair Oaks unincorporated area. So it was merged, and when it was merged, they did not, the water service boundaries weren't changed. So there was still discretion about which water provider would actually serve the parcel. It's the only parcel on that side of the block, if it was annexed to the city of Redwood City, that would be part of the city. So while there is adjacency, they would not necessarily create a logical boundary either between right-of-way issues or other service boundaries. So at this time, it's staff's recommendation that there's just an outside service extension for water to the whole parcel for Redwood City, not the annexation to the city at this
I
time.
understand now. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Thank,
And I
thank
have
you,
a
Commissioner Martin,
subsequent
Commissioner
question.
Draper.
Is there a deferred annexation agreement required?
There is.
Oh, all right.
Thank you. Any other questions from the commission? Is there any public comment?
There are no public comments at this time.
Can I have a motion to move the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Great. Let's go ahead and move to vote.
Thank you. That was a motion by Vice Chair Crawley, seconded by Commissioner Draper. Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Commissioner Spear, Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Vice Chair Crawley,
Aye.
Chair Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. You have a motion passes.
Thank you. We'll now move on to item 4, consideration of the final municipal service review for the Coastside Fire Protection District. Colleagues, do any of the commissioners need to hear the full staff presentation, or can we go ahead and do an abridged? All right, so we'll go ahead and take the abridged presentation, Mr. Bartoli. Actually, Sarah.
Yes, thank you. So the draft report was presented in March. Since then, staff circulated the draft report to relevant public agencies for input. Staff received no comments since then, so there have been no changes to the draft report. So we will, everyone has in the agenda packet the details of that report, which have just been reiterated, and we're going to go to the recommendations. Staff recommendations for this item are as follows: open the public hearing and accept public comment, accept the final municipal service review for the Coastside Fire Protection District, adopt the municipal service review determinations, recommendations, and sphere of influence update contained in this report.
Thank you. And we did, just for the record, we did have a lengthy conversation about this at our last meeting on the coast side. Do we have any questions from commissioners? Seeing no questions for commissioners, we can go ahead and move to public comment.
There are no public comments at this time.
Thank you. We'll now go ahead and close public comment. Do we have an motion for item 4?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. That was a motion by Vice Chair Crawley, seconded by Commissioner Rinaldi. Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Commissioner Spear,
Aye.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Martin,
Yes. Chair
Chair Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. You have the motion passes.
Commissioner Chen Corrali,
Aye.
did you get to vote?
No,
Oh,
aye.
Commissioner Crawley.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll go ahead and now move on to item 5. Consideration of adoption of the final work plan and final LAFCo budget for fiscal year 2025-2026. Again, colleagues, I need to ask, does anyone need the full presentation, or can we proceed with an abridged? And we can, well, we will have questions, but I'm going to ask Mr. Bartoli for the abridged.
Okay.
It was Mr. Bartoli.
Yes. So before you is the final adoption of the LAFCo work program and budget for fiscal year 25-26. There is just one minor adjustment. There's an increase of $2,000 to the final budget. So the final budget is $923,821. That $2,000 increase is reflective of the contract for scanning that the commission approved at the last meeting in March. That is the only change, in the final apportionment to the county, city, and special districts will be approximately $240,000. There were no changes to the work program that was for 25-26. And then the recommendation is to open public hearing, accept public comments, and then approve the final budget and work program for LAFCo for fiscal years 25 and 26.
Thank you, Mr. Bartoli. And for the record, we did have a discussion about this at our last meeting at the coast side. Commissioner Martin.
On page 139, you talk about digital archiving. Is the public allowed, or does the public have access to that?
Right now, if those records were requested, they would be. I think in the future, we're going to be looking at how we can best host them for the public, and that will be, so we're doing some steps here. First, digitizing those documents, sorting them, filing them appropriately, and we'll have those as accessible in case there are requests for information.
Oh.
I think eventually we will work on trying to put a number of these items up on the website so that the public can access them. So if they want to look at an item, they don't have to do a request to us.
Maybe my question should have been, will the MSRs be there?
The MSRs are there. So everything, the scanning work is of historic items. So typically those are items pre 2010s. Since then, we have digital records of all those MSRs, annexations, other actions the commissions have taken. Those are up on the website already in digital format.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Martin. Any other questions from the commission?
Just a real quick question, Chair Mueller, for Executive Bartoli. On page 148, if we look at line item 4111, I'm just curious as to what the drivers are for those numbers for the budget. So if you look from fiscal year 23-24, we have $261,732. And then 24-25, we have $302,626. And then if we look over to fiscal year 25-26, it's $332,004. Just curious, what's comprised of that?
If you could repeat the line item, the number you're looking at.
Yes, the line item is 4111.
There's one.
It's the very top.
So that is salary and benefits. Those are driven by salary costs for LAFCo staff that comprises of the LAFCO executive officer and the management analyst. Those are county positions in the county's HR classifications. So those classifications and step increases are programmed through the county. But that's what's driving those increases there is those already assigned and already decided classifications and salary steps and increases that are occurring for the two county positions that serve LAFCO staff.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Rinaldi. Any other questions? Commissioner Spear.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm curious as to what the status is of the Broadmoor Police District.
So that was part of our work program. It still exists on there. Right now, the commission has asked to not have any additional updates at this time. We anticipate having an update on the commission either at July or at a later date on the Broadmoor Police Protection District. They've recently adopted their budget. So I think we're going to have more information about that budget and other items that we can bring back to the commission at a further meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the commission? Okay, let's go ahead and look for public comment. Open public comment, excuse me.
There are no public comments at this time.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and close public comment. Do we have a motion for item 5?
Motion to move forward.
I'll second that, and I want to thank staff for the great work they've done in the budget committee. We all work together very well and in detail.
Excellent. With that, let's go ahead and move to the vote.
Thank you. That was a motion by Commissioner Rinaldi, seconded by Vice Chair Chen Karali. Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Spear,
Aye.
Vice Chair Chen Karali,
Aye.
Chair Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Motion passes.
Okay, we'll now move on to item 6, consideration of adoption of revised LAFCO schedule of processing of fees. The report was contained and was comprehensive in the staff report. Does the commission wish to hear the full presentation? Does anyone wish to hear the full presentation, or can we hear the abridged? Looks like everyone's agreeable to the abridged. Mr. Bartoli.
Thank you, Chair. So yes, this is the second reading essentially of the updated revised fee schedule since the fiscal years of 19 and 20. We have updated the schedule on a 2-year cycle. This is the most recent update that's proposed for fiscal years 25 through 27. The attachment is lined in track changes showing what those changes are. And again, this was reviewed by the Budget Committee and the full commission at our prior meeting. So the recommendation before the commission today is by resolution adopt the proposed LAFCo processing fee for 25-26. And if they are adopted, it will be within 60 days of effective date of today.
Thank you, Mr. Bartoli. Are there any questions from the commission? See no questions from the commission. Can we go ahead and open public comment?
There are no public comments at this time.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and close public comment. May I have a motion for item 6?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. That was a motion by Commissioner Draper, seconded by,
No, I didn't.
oh,
I did.
Commissioner Martin, seconded by Vice Chair Chinkwali. Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Spear,
Aye.
Vice Chair Chinkwali,
Aye.
Chair Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Motion passes.
Okay, we'll now move on to item number 7, consideration of a
I
resolution.
ask a point of order?
Certainly.
Last two, I have not had the opportunity to cast a vote. I was just wondering.
I missed that, and that is my apologies. And I now need to look at Mr. Fox. Can we go ahead and have him take votes at this time?
You can cast a vote at this time and it will be recorded as part of the vote of the commission.
That was I on both.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright. My apologies.
No worries.
You
And
have-
my apologies for missing it too, Commissioner Wright. We'll go ahead and move on at this time to item 7, consideration of a resolution authorizing an agreement with the County of San Mateo for staffing, legal counsel, office space, and supplies for fiscal year 2025-2026. Does anyone need the full version or can we proceed with the abridged? Looks like we're okay with the abridged. Mr. Bartoli.
Thank you, Chair. Annually, the LAFCo Commission contracts with the County of San Mateo for staffing, legal counsel, office space, and supplies. This is the annual contract for fiscal year 25-26. The contracted amount is $817,000, not $897,000. That is minus any cost for fund balance and reserve and outside audits. So the contract there for you today will eventually go to the Board of Supervisors for their review. And the action before the commission is to, by resolution, authorize the chair to execute the agreement with the County of San Mateo for staffing and support services in that said amount. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Bartoli? Seeing none, we'll now go ahead and open public comment. Is there any public comment?
There are no public comments at this time.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and close public comment. May I have a motion for item 7?
So moved.
You have a
Second.
Okay,
Thank you. That was a motion by Commissioner Spear, seconded by Vice Chair Chinkwali. Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Spear,
Aye.
Vice Chair Chinkwali,
Aye.
Chair Mueller.
yes.
Thank you, Chair. Motion passes.
We'll now move on to item number 8, public member recruitment process and appointment of public member recruitment committee. We actually don't need to hear this presentation. And if is there anyone who'd like to hear the presentation?
I have a question.
We can move straight to questions.
This is for the alternate member, right? Because
That is correct.
in here, there was sort of a mix between alternate member and public
It's the
member.
Public Member Recruitment Committee for the alternate member
Okay,
position.
alright.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that.
Yes. It's
What's
been,
the-
and it's been posted
Okay.
on the website as the alternate recruitment.
okay,
Yes.
thanks.
Are there any other questions, commissioners? With that, we'll go ahead and open public comment.
There are no public comments at this time.
Mm-hmm.
We will close public comment. Do we have a motion for item 8?
If
So
we're,
moved.
we're switching, we're having an issue with the slide. Diane, could you advance the slide a second? To the next one, please. So the action before the commission is to appoint 3 commissioners to the Public Member Recruitment Committee, 1 of each type other than the public member. So it'd be 1 from special district, 1 from city, and 1 from the county.
Right, so I'll take that as the motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. That was a motion by Commissioner Spear, seconded by Vice Chair Chinkwali. Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused. Did we decide on who was going to be on
No,
that committee?
the who's on the subcommittee?
Yes. That would be, to staff would need direction so we could coordinate with them.
All right, so why don't we go ahead and take nominations for the subcommittee then?
Well, I'm happy to do that for special district if the commission's willing, unless Katie wants to do it.
As am I.
So there are two potential ones for special districts, but we need one for city and then one for county as well.
I can do it for county.
Taking one for the team, I see.
Who would like to do it for city?
I can move forward for city.
Okay. We have our subcommittees.
Well, and then for special district, so one of you, either Commissioner Martin or Commissioner Jane Crawley.
Okay,
Yeah, so Commissioner Martin,
Commissioner Martin,
thank you.
thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so we will, for the purpose of record keeping, do the motion over again. So,
So I'll make the motion to appoint Commissioners Martin, Chair Mueller, and Commissioner Rinaldi to be the Public Member Recruitment Committee.
okay. Can I have a second? Let's go ahead and vote.
Thank you. That was a motion by Vice Chair Ching Crowley, seconded by Commissioner Spear. Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Spear, Vice Chair Ching Crowley,
Aye.
Chair Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Motion passes.
We'll now move on to item number 9. It's LAFCo information only. Rob, you can go ahead and give the presentation.
Yes, just there's items about the LAFCo workshop that are in the staff report, but I do want to mention that next Wednesday there will be a coastal regional LAFCo meeting hosted by a consultant on behalf of LAFCo, really to focus on kind of challenges and opportunities for LAFCo, and they're inviting all the LAFCos in the coastal region to that meeting. That is typically going to be mostly attended by staff, and so we'll have a report back from that. But if the commission has any comments that would like me to bring to the LAFCo meeting, I'd be happy to take them either now or offline. And the commissioners can contact me directly, and we can have that conversation about any comments or thoughts about the future of LAFCo or any concerns they may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bartoli. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Bartoli?
Will it be recorded or televised?
It will, as far as I know, it will not be recorded or televised. However, I will bring back a detailed meeting minutes of what that happens at that meeting.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Bartoli? Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on. There's no public comment necessary for that item. We'll move on to item number 10, Commissioner staff reports. Sarah is going to go ahead and present the Legislative Policy Committee items.
Thank you. So the municipal service review process is intended to help LAFCO, the public, and other agencies better understand the governance and delivery of public services. As part of the MSR process, LAFCO staff and the commission make determinations on 7 areas. Under the current format of San Mateo MSRs, discussions about governing body meetings, issues related to Brown Act, and general agency transparency are described under a section entitled Accountability and Transparency. This is MSR Determination Area 6. Presented before you are additional areas of inquiry that LAFCO staff could add to their regular process and analysis going forward when performing MSRs for all special districts and cities. The policy would not create a standard or best practice. The policy would introduce questions for LAFCO staff to regularly ask cities and special districts. The policy would not tell agencies, you shall do this. Every agency conducts its operations according to its unique needs and public demand. Here are the questions that the policy could introduce to the MSR. First area of questions would be related to live stream availability, which I guess I will read them out loud. The questions could ask, relating to live stream availability, is the board meeting streamed online with video and or audio available for the remote public to observe in real time? And how is remote public comment handled during the live streamed meeting? Another area of questioning could be meeting notice. Prior to the public meeting, is information disseminated regarding how the public can access the meeting remotely? and how they can provide comment remotely during the meeting. Another area this policy would introduce to the MSR would be accessibility. Our language, interpretation, translation services have provided. Are modifications or accommodations available for individuals requiring special assistance to participate or view a public meeting? Our number 5 would be, are figures, documents, and presentations presented at the meeting viewable by those participating remotely? Number 6, is the streaming platform free and accessible to the non-subscribing public? And 7, are video recordings of meeting available for viewing online after the meeting? So that is the proposed policy. There are 2 recommendations that could be made here, at least. The first option would be by motion to direct LAFCo staff to circulate the draft LAFCo teleconferencing and public comment policy to the counties, cities, and special districts and other interested parties, and place the policy for consideration of adoption on the agenda for the July 16th commission meeting. Or direct LAFCo staff to make changes to the draft LAFCO teleconferencing and public comment policy and return the updated draft to the Legislative and Policy Committee for review to be brought back to the full commission at a later date for potential adoption. So this policy has just a bit of background that I didn't mention. The commission did the commission voted 6-0 at the March meeting to direct LAFCO staff to draft a new MSR policy related to public access and meeting participation. The draft policy was reviewed by the Policy and Legislative Committee on April 23rd, and the committee unanimously agreed to send the policy document to the full commission today for consideration.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commission?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner Spear.
What is the cost of doing either of these? I guess mostly number 1.
So there isn't an exact cost from a LAFCO standpoint, at least, of asking these questions, because it's built into our MSR. So it's just staff time to do additional research and additional questions to those agencies. There could be a cost for an agency to then live stream or host those types of things. And I think that is something that LAFCO staff is aware of. And we can talk about best practices or opportunities for agencies to do that if they want to. But for the questions themselves and asking them, there is no additional cost.
I see. Are we trying to fix something that's not broken?
To a large extent, there was a discussion at the March meeting to clarify and ask additional questions about live streaming for other agencies. And one of the ideas was to create then a policy that we would ask specific questions for all agencies. But we do this to some extent already, but this would help define some of those questions if the commission wanted to go in that direction.
So we're basically polling agencies to see their interest in having it be live streamed and needing translation services.
It would be when we conduct an MSR, we would do research about whether or not an agency is currently live streaming and those subsequent questions about whether or not they do that. And then if there's interest, if there are tools that we could help them with, gain those accessibility if they want to or interested. So it's just when we do the MSRs, it's not on an annual basis.
I see. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Bartoli? Yes, Vice Chair Corrali.
I just want to make a comment about, just so that Commissioner Spear, she wasn't at the last meeting, understands what the intent was. It's basically it was going to be like a little checkbox for MSRs to see, how transparent these agencies were, the cities, counties, and special districts. So that was going to be part of the MSR, from what I remember, part of the MSR process in this, in their questionnaire or whatever they have to fill out. And so, that's my understanding, Rob. So please correct me if I'm wrong. My thing was, I have talked to some of the cities that were mentioned in your report, because in special districts, I know that the special districts that I'm on, we actually now have video or accessibility for public comment via Zoom, which we were going to put in place anyway. But some of the cities, from the feedback I got, were, they just, it might be a good idea, Rob, to just send them this, but I don't think anything should be punitive, because these cities are trying to make the best decision for their local needs. But I agree that transparency is very important and accessibility for public access to the meetings is very important. I just don't want this to be punitive.
Any other questions from the commission?
Comment when we get to that point.
Okay. Well, we can go ahead and take it now.
Okay. I have to say that I guess it's called attachment A. I like attachment A. As members, remember last meeting, I got a little cranky at the meeting because there was a motion to require a specific vendor technology type. And I was disturbed. I ended up voting for it, but it was in a way voting for it so that we could have a policy so that all agencies could be treated the same, both special districts and cities, and not to direct, but rather to find out and provide information. And so I'm sort of happy with this because we'll find information and also give them information about how to do it if they don't do it now. And I think that's our role in part, is to gather information and provide resources. So I'm okay with that, the way it's drafted. But I have to say, I was really surprised on the districts, how some are very available and some are not.
Yeah.
And so they're all over the place. And I don't know that we should direct them, but maybe it should be something that they see and say, oh, and then think about it. And this was very interesting to me.
Excellent. So great work, Rob. Are there any other questions or comments? No, let's go ahead and open for public comment.
There are no public comments at this time.
Should we go ahead and close public comment? We have a motion for item 10A.
So moved.
Well,
Second.
I think we have to pick one or two. Which one we want to do.
I'm sorry, I didn't think I.
So
heard
there's a
you.
recommendation 1 or 2, and I think we have to move either 1 or 2.
You're right.
I'll make a motion.
1.
I was gonna
Okay.
say one. Did you make a motion for, I'll second the motion for number 1.
Okay.
Thank you. That was a motion by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Vice Chair Chang Karali. Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Spear,
Aye.
Vice Chair Chang Karali,
Aye.
Chair Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Motion passes.
Okay, we'll now move on to the legislative update. Sarah?
Yes, and I'm not sure how much in detail you'd like to hear about these bills. LAFCo is tracking several bills. We chose 3 of note. Perhaps I will mention them and then just talk about the third, which is the one where action is requested.
Thank
So
you.
the first is SB 5 from Senator Kowalden. The second one of interest, well, that is relating to infrastructure financing districts. The second one is SB 390 from Senator Becker. And the third is SB 777 from Senator Richardson. So are there any questions on this before we,
Well, let me ask, are there any questions?
yes, thank you.
If anyone has
Before we
on
move
any of the
on, I can
items.
talk more detail about those 3, or we can move on. This is information only.
There are no questions about them, so we can go ahead and move on, and that would be to item 10C.
Thank you. So in regards to item SB, sorry, to SB 777, LAFCo has requested that we submit a letter of opposition. So staff has drafted such a letter of opposition for the bill. That letter is included in your agenda packet on page 206. The bill would add significant responsibility to LAFCOs, but provides no direction to LAFCOs as to how to assess which local agency is best suited to assume such responsibility. So the complaint is that this would likely burden the local agency with additional fiscal and liability risks. So if the letter of opposition is approved by the commission, it is recommended that the commission authorize LAFCO to staff to submit the letter to both legislative houses and to the governor as the bills move through the legislative process. that is the recommendation. Again, the letter is in your agenda packet.
So an SB 777 would direct public agencies to have to take responsibility for abandoned cemeteries. And LAFCo saying we shouldn't be getting involved in telling public agencies whether or not they should do this.
Yes, and not only that is, there's opposition from League of Cities, from CSDA, because of concerns that they would have for their member agencies. But also from the LAFCo perspective is now it's an agency at a state level that has a private asset in a private cemetery, requiring that transfer of that asset to another public entity through a LAFCo process. That it would be required to occur. I think it's coming out of a couple of cemeteries in Southern California that are having some serious financial issues that the state basically has receivership of. I don't foresee an issue in this county. However, we do have a number of private cemeteries in this county that I'm sure if there was a problem in the future, the county and cities would have concerns about if this process was followed. So it's right now, LAFCo is asking for letters of opposition to the bill in its entirety.
Okay, so we can go ahead and move on to questions. Commissioner Spear.
Thank you. So under the existing law, the state has responsibility and they want to shift it to LAFCOs. Is that sort of
The
the
LAFCOs
intent
and
of
the
this?
local agencies, exactly. The state has a responsibility of maintaining these assets. However, through a LAFCO process, they would like to move them either to the counties or cities.
I see. Okay, I think that's a very good bill to oppose.
Okay. Yes, Vice Chair Crowley.
Yeah, so I actually sit on the legislative committee for LAFCO, and all of the concerns that Rob has outlined, that's been all brought up. And so that's why there was not just opposition, but very strong opposition. And the letter in 10C is almost identical to what the letter that LAFCO is going to be sending out to Senator Richardson. So it's kind of like a form advocacy letter opposing this.
Okay, any other questions? Let's go ahead and open public comment.
There are no public comments at this time.
All right, we'll close public comment. They have a motion to authorize LAFCO staff to submit a letter of opposition for SB 777 to both legislative houses and to the governor.
I'll move.
Thank you. That was a motion by Vice Chair Cianccarelli, seconded by Commissioner Spear. Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Commissioner Rinaldi,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Draper,
Yes.
Commissioner Spear, Vice Chair Cianccarelli,
Aye.
Chair Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Motion passes.
And we now move on to our final item, item 11, Commissioner staff reports.
One update to the full commission is that for our July meeting, we may or may not be in these chambers again, as there potentially will be construction. We have booked Manzanita Hall, which is the space next door in this building. So hopefully we'll be able to utilize that. Or if construction does not occur, we will be in these chambers. I will let you know about where our meeting will be.
There's construction in these chambers?
Yes.
I did not.
That is what I've been told by the CEO's office.
All right. Well, that's good to know. So, any questions from anyone?
I just have one item.
Yes.
As some of you know, I'm active in the League of Women Voters in San Mateo County. And I like this sheet so much about who has live streaming that I'm going to share it with the leagues. There's 2 leagues because I don't know what they'll do with it, but at least it provides them with some information that may be of interest to them. But I just wanted you to know in advance who's giving it to them.
Thank you, Commissioner Draper. And with that, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time is 3:10 p.m. for the record.